We're trusting the screen.
Trusting the process couldn't be me. What I feel like it just popped up and it showed like a couple of the live places. Like it like popped down and showed the status of everything. I think I've never been able to see this view before.
Yeah,
I'm in on the tech.
I don't
I'm in the
really
back
understand
end.
why you all of a sudden have full access. I've spent my
You've been
entire career alongside you to make sure I'm the only one with control. This is upsetting. This is
this
an upsetting
reminds me.
development.
This reminds me of like how much trust we have in each other in terms of like money and bank accounts and blah blah blah. And like
I know.
we're each in our own lane, not at all checking each other's stuff, like with
I
so
could
much trust.
be robbing you blind.
You could
And
be
you
like,
would have no idea. I could be robbing you blind.
I could log in one day. Like, when's the last time I logged into our bank account? Couldn't tell you. And I would just be like, oh, there could be, you know what I'm saying? I could be absolutely swindled and never hear from you again. And I'd be like, well,
that's okay.
I
We had
lived my
fun.
life of trust.
We had fun together.
We had fun. We made brands try to make their consumers laugh, and then we made up stuff on the internet for all to see.
I love it.
Okay, while Allie tinkers around, I will say hello to everybody watching. Welcome to Can They Brand That? We are the world's first humor branding agency. We are the founders of Semiserious. I'm Lindsay. That's Allie. We are the founders of that, and we are the hosts of Can They Brand That? And this is a show where we create real branding in real time for fake brands, fake ideas, brands that don't exist and products that don't exist and should, brands that don't exist and should not, like last week's episode with the self-driving stroller. We basically try to find the most tricky concept idea that we could create a full brand identity for live with no prep, improvised in a 20-minute timer. And we go from there to try to show off our skills and show the world the power of humor in branding and marketing. So today is a very special episode. I think Allie's changing the titles of everything as we speak.
I am. That is why I'm silent. I'm actually going to change our layout view right now, really quick and it'll pop back to this, and when we have our guest join.
Wow, you didn't even ask me. But
better?
I do. The special episode is because we have a special guest and a special entire focus for this one, and that is design. You get to hear our brains spill every week. That's a gross way to think about it, brain spilling. On all of the ways that we would bring the brand identity to life from a sort of like verbal and positioning and strategy perspective. And we touch on visual when we can, but a hidden face at Semiserious Agency is our dear designer Natter, and he is the mastermind behind all of the visual side of things, bringing the brand identity to life from that perspective. So we thought, what if we handed him 3 of our favorite past episodes and said, do your best / worst. And we want to see some of this stuff come to life. How would you design it? And so that's what he's going to do today. He's going to reveal to us. We picked 3. He watched the episodes. He did, sort of the quick fire, can they brand that treatment of it? And he's going to reveal them to us and to you at the same time today, which I'm so excited.
I am so excited too. And you know what? I'm so glad that he's a good sport about all this, because he's generally a pretty quiet guy. I would say maybe airs on the side of a little shy. And so we're like, how would you like to showcase your talent live to a live audience, and then reveal it to us for the first time, who are 2 of the most opinionated people you've ever met. We love and adore him. We're kind to him, I promise. But and then so we're gonna do it 3 times.
Yeah, and hey,
not just once, 3 times. So he's been in a cold sweat for 2 weeks or for a week. I don't know how long he's been working on it.
I also think, like, to us, this is old hat at this point. Just even filming yourself is very difficult for a lot of people, but doing anything in real time with no script can be very stressful. And then doing it live.
Yes.
So I do not blame him if he's got a little bit of nerves, but he has nothing to fear, because we have some of our tried and trues are here. Scott is here, Laura's here, Evan is here. You guys can chime in on ideas, on thoughts, take it easy on him.
Yeah, he's a dear. He is a dear. So he is the perfect balance to our chaotic energy. I wouldn't say we're chaotic in the sense that we're like unstable or anything. It's more like we just are like, we're up in the clouds all the time. We're up, we're high energy, loud, excited, and you will see he's a steady stream, and it's wonderful. And as people who kind of married someone in the similar archetype,
totally.
It is the right energy balance for sure.
It's perfect. But I feel like, if there is some like what pace would like calm somebody's heart rate, that's the speed at which Natter speaks and operates. It'd be like, do you need to calm a wild stallion or a toddler or like a frightened stray cat? You're going to want to go at the pace that Natter talks. Yeah. Don't send us in. We'll razzle dazzle. We'll turn that stray cat into a fan, but we're not going to.
Oh, we'll have that cat in a top hat and coattails. And
we'll have that cat in a hot tin roof. But we're not soothing anything. Wait, okay. What was on our agenda? We wanted to touch briefly on last week, which was a fun challenge because of the ethical issues of the idea of a self-driving stroller. But I think we pushed through.
We did. And by ethical, we mean purely unethical.
Yeah.
Ethical issues. No, it was great.
Ethical issues that is unethical.
That is unethical. No, it was fun. In the sense of us just having to go, how do you take something that we are personally not invested in, interested in, and brand from that perspective? So, I'm sure my snarky side was out in full force, but I think we did a good job of trying to conceptualize it and bring it to life in some intriguing way. I don't remember how we landed, if we said it'd be funded or dunded.
I think we said it was tricky, but that we thought if it was ever going to get funded, it should go the route of like playful and warm and not bought Tesla.
Oh, that's right. Oh yeah,
so we had done babysitter or buttercup were our two sort of fun things, and then we said that the whole thing would be yellow, which was good because it was a warning sign for when
for oncoming traffic. That's fun.
And then next on my little agenda was discussing that, we finally got scooped. Invention that we thought we made up and branded, and the name we came up for it just launched this week, and that's Scoot Case. But they spelled it with a K, which I am like spiritually and emotionally against. It's because I dated a Corey with a K, and that's hard.
And you dated an Eric with a K, so did I.
Oh my!
Remember we've talked about that.
Because when I first started dating my now husband Caleb, everyone asked me with a K. I'm like, no, I think that's illegal. Probably not in Tennessee though.
Oh no,
you can marry your cousins here. They're just like, spell it however you want.
It would probably be like the CK, like the K would be silent. It would be in there somewhere.
Oh yeah,
maybe an apostrophe. I don't know.
For some reason, it's KNALEB.
Yeah,
Caleb.
Caleb. But they would pronounce it Caleb. They would.
Yeah.
So judgy.
But Scoot Case, a like mega influencer with like 1 million followers, and not in her defense, I'm sure the company is called Scoot with SKOOT.
Well, hold on, Lindsay. Remember that our episode was months ago, and when they first revealed this new concept, they did not call it Scoot Case. So hey,
it's true.
They just called it Scoot. So we don't know.
We'll never know.
Saw our episode and they said, damn, they really we could up level this business with this concept. So
yeah, and they just added a little TM. We don't know if it's actually.
I don't know if it's actually pending. Is it fully trademarked?
But it is for children. And jokingly, we were trying to up the ante by making a scooting suitcase for adults. But the point remains, this is only going to keep happening. So we got to get some things funded at some point. Anybody with a lot of money watching these?
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, so should we talk about just kind of the rules of the show today?
Yes.
Obviously it's not going to be a traditional show because we're not going to be branding anything new. So we are going to, like Lindsay said, we have 3 different past products that we have conceptualized, and our designer Natter is visualizing them for the first time and bringing them to life and showing us. So again, he's revealing it. We haven't seen it. And so what we're going to do is we're going to reveal each one by one, and then we're going to talk through it, and just, it's just going to be fun to see it for the first time, hear his perspective, his take, why he went in certain directions. We'll ask a few questions that we have. And then at the end, we're going to do fund Marry, Kill. You know, in creative work all the time, you have to kill your darlings. And so we're like, okay, what idea would be funded? Which one is like a personal favorite we love? We would kind of keep for ourselves. We'd marry that one. And then kill is that it's still excellent, but if we got to kill a darling, we have to kill a darling. We do it all the time.
Kill a darling. Yep.
And so we're going to do that. Is going to be kind of our structure. Anything else? I'm honestly so stoked because we have no idea. I mean, he obviously saw the episodes, but we don't know what he's going to do with these ideas.
I think one other thing to keep in mind, and we're about to just tee up this, I think another reason he may be sweating is because we're asking someone to go live with things they did in their spare time and weren't able to like fully realize. Like these are mock-ups on purpose for the nature of the show. So we wanted him to also be under a pressure cooker. So like keep that in mind. And I think with Fund, Marry, Kill, Fund would be the one that maybe is already good, like already like could go to press. Yeah. And then like Mary would be one that we'd want to take and nurture, but like keeping in mind that he is riffing as well.
We told him, do not, I mean, this is not a client project. Work like too hard on this. Is just a fun exercise. Like this is just another way for us to play together. So yeah, this is not like he's been laboring over this for weeks, probably emotionally, but not, we told him like, do not spend a lot of time on this. And we had to tell him that a lot because his nature is
he's a perfectionist.
Like to a degree that I feel sick on his behalf sometimes because we also are afflicted with that issue is that like one iteration is never enough. Like an A is never enough. It's like, it's got to be an A+. We've had to exhaust every option. It has to be something that we feel like so 100% certain around. And so he is like the king of, instead of making like 3 logo iterations, he'll make like 28. And then we'll go, okay, relax.
Or he'll be like, I hand drew all of this stuff, or I created an entirely new font. It'd be like when we will look at something and we'll go, what if that entire services page for this client's website rhymed? And they didn't ask us to it, and we're not getting paid any more to do it, but we would do it. Like for the sake of the joke, we would do something so time intensive. He does that, but with visuals, which is why we're well suited as a trio. But the reason I mentioned that is because we want to pull up just like, and that something, I think it was this spring. These are 3 client projects that he has done. We want to just show like his work, you know, like when he has full send on this stuff. This is some of the stuff that he's made for us. So Allie's going to pull up.
So these are recent 3 projects. We're kind of we're getting close to the finish line on, but they're current and active and really fun. And, we obviously came up with, you know, we did the conceptualization and the name in 2 out of the 3 cases. And then he brings it to life visually.
You'll know which one we didn't do.
Will they? Will they, Linz? We did fight this client on the name, but then I think we actually turned what we thought were lemons into lemonade. And I actually have like kind of fallen in love with the name only because I think the visualization of it is very funny. Lindsay hates that I said that. I've fallen in love with the name. Okay.
No, I think I was just thinking about it, but I'm like, I think it's fine. It's not what we would have done, but I think it's going to get, this is the type of client who came with the name as the entire idea for the business and the brand. So like you're almost never going to talk them out of it because the whole thing hinges on this to them. So
they were from first. They love, well, I was going to, do you want me to show that one first?
Yeah, just because we're talking about it.
Okay, cool. Let me share it. We've never shared our screens on here before, so, you know, bear with us.
Close all your corn windows. We're going to have to add all these censored blur.
I've been supplementing my income.
Zooming in of your feet, and you're like, Allie.
Awesome. Okay, so here is the one we're talking about. So this client came to us with the name F You Son. It's these 4 dudes. They loved the name and they would not let it go. They had a death grip on the name, and we actually pitched some other names and concepts, and they insisted. I've never I feel like I'm really persuasive in client conversations. And it is very rare that I think I have lost in not even a debate, but just like, you know, we're explaining kind of our rationale and our our perspective and the way we would visualize something. And they were like, yeah, okay, those are really cool ideas. No,
I still love FU Sun.
So anyway, love them. And we said, okay, we will turn this into something really fun and silly. So it's a sunscreen. Well, the first product they're rolling out, it's basically a suncare brand. The first product is sunblock or sunscreen. And this is just the way it has come to life visually. So because the name was FU Sun, we were trying to make sense of the name and going, okay, then we have to do something really interesting with it. And so we kept talking about having like the identity of the brand having like an adversarial relationship with the sun. And so that's a lot of the way we kind of frame the language and the voice of the brand and the tone, etc. And then Natter drew this like really insane, ridiculous, absurd seagull. And then turned obviously the wings and the tail into a middle finger. Oh, that's something else I should say. This client also insisted there be a middle finger in this brand.
Yes,
And this was another thing. It should have been the first thing I said. I was like, guys, we cannot put a middle finger in the brand. And that was like
in the actual, like a hand doing a middle finger. We can't do it that overtly, like on a shelf.
Yeah. And they were, when I tell you willing to die on that sword, they were willing to die on the sword and take everybody with them. So we're like, okay, how do we, keep kind of that adversarial nature, but make it like really fun and interesting? And then how do we weave a middle finger in here somewhere? And so,
remember we at one point thought about a shark fin coming out of the water being this way.
Yeah.
Natter tried drawing, and they were gorgeous. These palm trees, like a trio of palm trees that looked like the fingers and vistas. And we've since named him Steven Seagal, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I don't think we can zoom on the bottle itself. Coming from the bird's tail are like drops of sunscreen that look bird droppings, which also is really fun to me. And it's like overall the text. And so then we had to come up with language to make sense of why the sun is your enemy and why the sunscreen will help it. So like we're heated about sun protection, strong language, stronger sunscreen. Like we were like, we have to be self-aware enough that this is, that we can make sense of this and roast the sun before it roasts you, etc.
Yeah,
so we had a lot of fun.
And what you don't see here is like there's packaging copy on the back. Yeah. There's like stuff that we just, you're not going to see in this kind of snapshot. But I'm obsessed with the seagull. And my favorite part about it, besides the fact that we were able to wedge in a middle finger into this concept. Again, when we talk about client parameters, this is what we're talking about. People come to us with like very strong opinions. And so we have to then go, how do we take that idea and either destroy it kindly, or if we're unable to defeat the idea that they come to us with, how do we work within the confines of that idea? So FU Sun, middle finger. So I love the seagull with the middle finger feathers, but also I love the eye, he drew the eye with like, it looks just like ticked off. And so
and we have iterations of him in those like Daytona Beach 90s reflector sunglasses too. We've got tons of iterations of this bird that Natter drew. It's the seagull.
Yeah,
so good.
This is just a snapshot, but yeah, it gets really kooky. But anyway, so this is one. Let's go. Do you want to do Bad Rabbit or Hobbyist?
Do Bad Rabbit, then Hobbyist.
Okay. So this is another Lindsay, you want to talk about this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a a gut health centric snack for people with like sensitive stomach issues that is not like entirely made out of nuts. So the base is quinoa. Basically, the founder wanted to create something for people who are traditionally left out of the snack aisle, and she wanted to do it in a fun way. And so we like did a lot of research on like what does everything look like on the shelf. That's part of the presentation to the client that I love, seeing the bag next to all the other bags. And so we presented a bunch of names, and this was her favorite. And essentially it's the idea of like, health food usually tastes like rabbit food, and this one is bold and flavorful. And so then we thought, how do we represent a bad rabbit, like a naughty rabbit, like stealing all the best things from the garden? And we were thinking of shadow puppets. And so then Natter took this and brought it to life, like in the spotlight sort of thing, and the sort of graffiti style lettering. And the double B sort of reflects back to the fingers. And we have the tagline actually got expanded since this, and it's snack rules are meant to be broken into tiny delicious pieces because it's like a little quinoa sort of cracker crumble things. So
it's really good, actually.
It is.
I love it because what I love about the shadow puppet and how he illustrated it is it almost looks like it's getting busted. Because like that was the thing. It's like you're going, okay, you can't, if you have a name like Bad Rabbit, the last thing you want to do is be like really overt about just like a menacing rabbit. It's like you want to be a little bit, have a little like interesting juxtaposition with the name and like how do we interpret Bad Rabbit in a way that we can keep it playful and interesting. And so man,
and it almost looks like it's eating it and like all the
when Natter and I pitched this visualization, I was like sweating because I was like, if we pull up a shadow puppet and we loved
she's
it.
Like, what are you talking
and
about?
She's like, what is this? I'll die. Because she's very stoic in terms of one of our clients. She's pretty stoic. So it's like, you're like, does she like it?
Hello?
She loved it. She did. She was excited. But
she loved it. And like in terms of colors too, health food is typically like beige and light or like, in sort of those like typical colors to be like, I promise it's good for you. It's healthy. It's whole foods.
Yeah.
And so this having that sort of different, that deep purple vibe and that all the pops of bright. Anyway, I love it.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Killed it.
Okay, let's do the last one. This one's kooky. Okay. This one's so crazy. Okay. We just have to tell the story about how we even got here.
I mean,
when this client came to us, they had a name. And then I did the lightest Googling and I said, that name is already trademarked by someone else. So we had to kind of reinvent this whole thing. And this client in particular wanted something really jarring and crazy and ridiculous and absurd, like in terms of their first product name. And like, he's like, I want to like laugh out loud when I say the name. So
like all of his references to us were rap lyrics.
Yes.
Like wordplay in iconic rap lyrics.
It was like Kanye and Jay-Z.
Yeah.
So it was all of, and then also The Rock for some reason was like his, I can't even talk about it, his like inspo for his like preferred client. We're like, oh, The Rock is like a man in his maybe early 60s, late 50s. What are we talking about? So anyway, so the idea of hobbyist was like skincare as a hobby, recreational skincare, kind of like coming up with that as a fun angle. And then I will blame myself for this, that I pitched this name idea to Lindsay. And I think we didn't think he was going to pick this name. We
pitched it according to with a different name idea. It was with a different name idea. It was the 90s one.
And no. It was here because hobbyist and fad.
I know, but we had it from something else. We threw it in last minute. We had it from a different brainstorm for him is what I'm saying. We did not, we weren't like, oh, hobbyist this, but we were like, what is one that is like absurd? Because we haven't even said his first product is a butt cream.
Oh, it's a butt cream.
All things.
Yeah.
So like.
Yeah, it was like kind of the last toss in right before we pitch it. We presented like 7 different concepts and he was like obsessed with this name. And then we were like, oh, mother effer. Like, why did we pitch this name? It's so absurd. It's so ridiculous. And so that is kind of the visual angle that Natter took with it is like, instead of trying to make sense of like what Fad Ass is, because it's such a ridiculous name and it's meant to just be kind of silly and I don't even know, just like eye-catching. Like, let's just create a brand that feels like as chaotic as the name, sort of. And so it's just all these kind of offbeat cast of characters, things that just feel like kind of fun and weird and fresh. Has a little bit of I would say, urban feel.
He wanted that,
He wanted that. He wanted a cityscape initially, and we're like, that doesn't make sense. So we have to kind of give him a little bit of that.
What are the 3? What else are we saying down there in our little ads? I'm forgetting. Oh, don't be a bummer.
Don't be a bummer. Hot for the fun of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and recreational skincare. And we have other lines too. And we have all this like oh my God, the other side of this packaging. It talks about the kind of 3 core ingredients and their benefits. And then
So
Natter
stupid.
drew, it says like stars of the show, and then Natter drew 3 stars that were personified, and they look like, I guess just to give you visualization, like think of Patrick Star from SpongeBob, but then in one version he's got like a badonkadonk and he's like really cut. So crazy. It's just Natter's like, "Is
so
this
great.
too much?" I was like, "No, it's never
It has
too
never
much."
been too much.
Anyway,
Ugh,
so we're 25 minutes in. I know
yeah,
we've like
we're
really
waxing
set this
poetic
up.
just because we love his work so much and we're so proud of what he does and how he helps bring the ideas we have in our head to life for clients. And so now he's going to do that for
So
these dumb existing non ones. I'm going to
So-
tell him to come on in.
Yeah, tell him
right?
to come on.
Oh,
Yep.
and you're going to play the song, right?
Should I wait till he gets on to play it?
No. We
Okay.
were going to go. Let's start the timer so we can answer the question on everybody's minds.
Hold on.
Just because they can doesn't mean they should. Can they brand that? Can they brand that?
Did they brand that?
You didn't let me say, can they brand that?
Oh, well, did they brand that, I guess?
Did they? Oh, that's right. Hey, Natter.
Natter, what's up,
Hey.
buddy?
How's it going?
Great. I hope you were listening to us hype you up so hard.
I
know
was.
Okay, good. You feel good about it?
Yeah, thank you very much for all the kind words.
Yeah, we were talking
Having
about
to make sense of Fad Ass is still crazy.
It's like I feel I'm like, and how did we get here? Because it was so funny when the 3 of us were then faced with that as the name that was selected. We're like, what does that even mean?
What do you even make it look like? A trending,
Yeah.
like a good butts or now trending trend watch.
Oh my goodness.
Your butt. That's not bad. So Nana, did we tell you that we came up with a dumb game for the end of this where it's going to be called, you might have heard us say it, Fund, Marry, Kill instead of Marry, Kill?
You didn't tell me that, but I heard it. and I'm down for it. I think it'll be fun.
Basically, so we can all just say like, yeah, which one we think would get funding right away, which one we would keep in-house and keep working on, and which darling we have to kill just because we say goodbye to some of our best ideas like every week because of clients.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, collectively, we know that.
It's tough.
It's hard. Okay, so
do you want to pick the order, Natter?
Yeah. What do you have? Do you want to start with a personal fave?
Yeah. I mean, I'll start with maybe my favorite one. But my goal was to make sure that it's going to be tough to decide on a favorite. So.
Great.
So we'll see.
Maybe everyone survives this time. No, we're going to have to force it. We're going to force it, but it's not a reflection of us not loving the work. Okay.
No, because we could maybe have an orgy and fund 2 and marry 1. I don't know.
I mean, there's no rules here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No rules,
you guys
just
make up
right.
the rules. So.
Great. Okay. So
right.
I'm really excited.
Do you need me to share, or did you want to play the song? Or
we played it. We played it.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry, Natter.
Don't worry.
The song has been played. We're ready.
All right.
Natter. Yeah, letting Natter live in the shadows. He does. He's like our little.
No, that was about the bunny. I think.
Oh, I thought you talking about Natter. Oh my God. Okay.
You see the sausages?
I know. That's what I was gonna
say. Yeah. So my thing going into this was, as we kind of discussed, was to try to figure out like how do I create parameters and try to not go overboard and kind of dive down, the rabbit hole and kind of iterate a million different things. So for 2 of these, I just did one thing right out of the gate, and I was like, I'm going to make this work for what I want it to be. Like I have a vision in mind, and I'm just going to go out of nowhere and just kind of like follow this path to wherever it goes.
Follow the dog.
We love it.
Wait, we should say to people just tuning in, this product is hot dog water vodka.
Oh yeah. We
haven't even just
This was this was a few episodes ago. Hot dog water vodka. Oh my God, this is awesome so far. I love it.
So my thinking was like, let me sketch something out as like tightly as possible, and then I'll just do a quick like vectorization of it with like an image trace essentially. And then I'll take that as like that's the logo. I'll make maybe a couple iterations and then I'll like work my way into everything else. So this is literally the first thing that I sketched for Boozehound.
I love it.
And
It's a
yeah,
winner.
my
Wiener.
and my thinking was, you know, let me try to fit in the hot dogs in a fun way where it could be a part of an icon, but it also can kind of like embed itself within a fun script that kind of feels like it could be traditional, but it also has some like fun things that are a little unique and a little quirky. So there's little, you know, like droplets kind of built into it
Oh,
in the
I
H
like
over here
that.
and in the
Oh,
between the N and the
nice.
D, to kind of use that like hot dog sweat as
Meat
as
sweats.
a yeah.
Oh my
So
God. It's honestly, it's elegant.
thank
It's
you. Yeah, well,
it's
It's
beautiful.
beautiful.
Oh my
I
God.
I wanted to bring it to life the way it needed to be.
That is awesome.
And then so from there, you know, added hot dog water vodka to that and kind of started exploring colors and then kind of
Natter.
worked my way into a couple of different iterations. Yeah, and then we have the little pot over here for where it's boiling from.
Oh my
Oh my
God. It's so
gosh.
insane.
I love it. I love it
That is
so
Because
much.
initially I wanted to do some sort of like a crest or a seal, and then I was like, the pot could be that vessel for it, and
Oh,
it would make sense. So,
Oh,
and then
I love
I
that so much.
thank you, and then I started throwing in different things to try to like tie into like heritage. So I looked up.
Heritage hot dogs.
Yeah. So I looked up when hot dogs were apparently invented, and it was like 1867. And I thought, how funny would it be if like 1868 was like the year after? Is like, all right, we got to now make it into alcohol somehow. So,
We gotta ferment this.
exactly.
I spent 1 year with the humble hot dog and knew we got to change this to booze. Also,
Exactly.
I'm imagining for some reason that I have a tattoo of like 1860 and everyone's like, what's that? I'm like, it's the year hot dogs were invented. Like, duh. Duh.
Oh my. So I would get, you know, my maiden name started with a B. I'm now considering getting this tattoo to replace the shitty one on my wrist. Maybe I get this.
You can pretend it's like Italian sausage because you're Italian.
Yeah, I can. That's the
That's
second
true.
product. Lindsay, don't blow your load. That's the next rollout.
Okay.
Hot Italian sausage water.
And then I
the build
worked my way into, you know, a full color palette, or some sort of a full color palette, thinking like, you know, I think, you know, the references to like Sherlock Holmes and some of these things that were spoken about, and kind of going with some deeper colors, but then some little, you know, pops of color as well. But I wanted it to feel like warm and kind of have that like redness from what you would imagine, you know, what would be the hot dog that is is being boiled.
Hot dog red? Yeah.
Natter, is that like a reference to like a slight nod to ketchup, mustard, and relish?
I mean, there was a little bit of thinking in there that is like maybe I can add a little bit of a condiment sort of thing, and then like this is a little bit of like the bun in a way, like
That's so good.
this more tan color. But
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
but yeah,
Onions.
I wasn't trying to go like super exact, but I wanted to go like adjacent to some of these things. And then from there, working my way into some of the copy. And so
The pattern of the
I forgot you even said that. That was stupid.
So yeah, so I think, you know,
Oh.
in the episode you had mentioned something about like a houndstooth, and I thought like how funny would it be to make like a hot dog version of a houndstooth, like a dog's tooth. And so that's the pattern in the background.
That is incredible. Natter.
I love it. I love it.
That it looks
So
like
that's
the
hot
end
dog
of a
houndstooth?
wiener. That is Oh my
Yeah.
Dog's
God.
tooth?
Dog tooth, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Or there's probably a better name for it, but that was what was in my head.
No, I
What'd you
love
call it? You called it dog's
Dog's
tooth?
tooth.
Dog's
Yeah.
tooth. I love it.
And then I quickly, drew a little sketch of a little, cocktail with the little cocktail weenies in there that are sort of like, instead of the olive, it's like
the garnish.
Yeah.
A Weenie Tini. I love have
Oh
a
my
cocktail,
gosh.
you weenie. Oh my God. It's so stupid. I love
And
it
then
so much.
yeah, it was a blast to work on, but yeah, so then I tried to like frame it and kind of make it feel like it had a little bit of a heritage nod again, with that like ornate sort of framing, and then like added the little hot dogs and the droplets to the corners as well.
Oh, it's got the
Like
hot dogs on the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I could zoom in on that.
Natter. It is honestly, this is really cool. Of course, we knew you would go mental. Like I
I've
thought
been
you would
looking
draw.
for a good wallpaper for my dining room.
Hey,
Saying.
I mean, Lindsay,
Saying.
this is a great starter. This is a
it
great
might have to
conversation
be
starter.
a semi-serious wallpaper that gets sold.
This will be the spin-off is instead of building a brand, we have like, oh yeah, wallpaper company of just the all the
Interior
dumb
design.
shit Natter comes up with. Oh my
Inside
God.
joke design instead of interior. Wait, it would be a fun offshoot using this pattern to create like a magic eye poster people could put up at bars, like to promote the, like they put like Tito's vodka signs up, like, and in it you would see like a drink or like another weenie, like you could turn that pattern into magic eye.
Yeah,
of the 90s.
that'd be.
This is so.
Allie, read what Evan just said about the scripted font.
I like the scripted font, linking the letters like sausage links. Yeah, it's so cool. It's so smart. These would be gorgeous socks. Like imagine this is like a sock pattern or a maybe a tie. I don't know. Could you do a tie, like a dog's tooth tie, or in a picture
or
of like
interior of a jacket? Like a lining.
I was gonna say like a cigar lounge. You have like maybe that is like the wallpaper. We can like really bring out that like hot dog skin
vibe,
burgundy. Or maybe like a pillow or something. Oh my God.
Yeah, somebody gets the Brett on the line and and we'll see if we can make it happen.
Oh my God, this is so good. Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
Natter,
And
is there oh sorry. Oh my
oh,
God.
yeah.
No, he's not even done. Okay, I thought you were done.
I basically worked in the way that we typically work with a client project and tried to like make a bunch of deliverables that kind of touch base on like the main thing.
Since 1868.
So some of the copy that you both had come up with just typographically paired with some of the little illustrations, and then this was a hot dog flag.
That's my America.
Honestly, at this point in history, this is what I want to be waiting.
4th of July is not that far away.
That's so stupid. And when we say stupid, obviously everyone knows by now it's like the highest praise. This is the word. Who let the dogs in? I forgot.
We came up with that when we were making this, like the inspo doc for Natter. Who let the dogs in, I think, is the tagline of Boozehound.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
Oh my gosh.
And then I tried to have some fun with like maybe illustrating it looking like you're squeezing out like the last drops as like a garnish on top of the
Wait, zoom in. I want to see that one. Oh
my. Oh, I see. It's a link. It's a whole link.
Yeah.
I was looking at the white part.
It's like
the inside of the white part.
It's like you're squeezing 11 into the. Oh my God.
So good.
It's so funny. Oh, I don't know why the flag is killing me for some reason. Like that is like making me laugh so hard. Oh,
and then
it was zoomed out, but I thought it was a flag, and so I'm like, I thought it was made out of wieners, but I wasn't sure. Okay, so fun. Okay,
and
keep
then
going.
From there, tried to create the label, which had the illustration idea.
you slept? Oh my God.
So
I want to. Someone just said I'd wear those on a shirt. I want a shirt with these guys. Now we have to make this into a shirt.
all right, we
Oh
can
my
make it
gosh.
happen.
Can you make it any bigger? Remember like we did yesterday?
Is it?
Oh,
does
let
it-
me see it. Does it? Let's
Oh
see.
my gosh.
Or just zoom it in, I guess. Yeah.
yeah.
Does that expand it out?
Oh.
And make it, or do you need me
It
to
just
zoom
gave
in?
us more red.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gave us
okay.
more wiener.
Just zoom in so we could see these.
Oh yeah. Source from
Stores
Glizzy Falls.
Oh my God.
So yeah, and then I tried to kind of like use that sort of like wavy pattern as like this line work that kind of tried to elevate it a little bit. And then we have our illustration here. I tried to make it look like an etching as quickly as I could, so I was just kind of like brushing the stuff on. So not, the best execution of that, but
okay. It's not the best execution. It's like unbelievable. This is like a Picasso.
But yeah, and then
my gosh.
flagged it on the sides with some circular lockup. So I
Devil, can you see that?
And then
God.
I put some lorem ipsum as like paragraph text, and then handcrafted in small batches, thinking that it's literally being made in pots.
4 dogs at a time.
Small batches.
Dog
Spoiled in the This is the stupidest, best thing that's
This is so good.
Oh my gosh, is that like supposed to be like buns and a dog to the left of the hot dog water vodka underneath the thing? That little like thing with the dots.
This stuff. I mean, it wasn't my intent, but
it looks like a hot dog bun with like
it
like a grilled slats of a dog on the inside. Oh my gosh. And then we have our dog's tooth.
God, it's perfect. And I love that you made them look like they're at a ski chalet. Like that was the joke. That's the joke from that episode. I was laughing so hard I was crying.
This is incredible.
God, Natter, this is it is so good. Oh my God. I literally thought, of course, I should have known that you blew this thing in time. I was about to ask you, is there anything else you would have done for this project had you more time? And of course you did everything. Oh my God.
So I tried, like I was saying, I tried to set these limitations for myself. So I made like one day for all sketching for all 3 projects. So like all 3 fit into one day to just sketch out the logos. And some of I maybe spent like 2 hours sketching out this this illustration in the middle, but then for the concepts, because I wanted to have it where like it felt like it was built out into a real brand, I spent like somewhere around like a day per project because
it's when I'm peppering you with phone calls throughout the day, like I did not realize I was interrupting
He's double copper pot
Potting.
distilling right in the moment.
Oh my
Wait,
God.
this makes me think, Allie, we only need one brand an episode.
Yes.
For like I just
Natter,
I want to like marinate on this.
Oh my God. I know. I like you.
Should we save the other 2 for other episodes? What do you want to do?
Are you excited? Do you want to show us?
I'm down to do whatever you both want to do. I'm happy parsing it out, or I'm happy.
Maybe just 2 total.
Do 2. So let's save one. So give us
save them.
Well, then we can't do Fun to Marry
I know.
Okay.
I just don't want to steamroll through them. I don't know. I'm torn.
And you put so much effort. You put like they're so beautiful.
I think they each deserve their own.
I don't want to like blow your wad. Like this is
incredible. And now we know we don't need to be giving him 3. Goodness.
No. Oh my God.
I was expecting like one little sketch of a bottle with like a hot dog on it.
I thought
as a straw or something.
That's what I thought. Oh my, of course.
I didn't want to make it look more half-assed than this.
So fantastic.
That is awesome.
Well,
oh my goodness. Okay. Do you want
Bravo.
Do you want to show us the dog? Who let the dogs in? Natter.
Oh my
Natter let
gosh,
the dogs
Boo Sound is like, this is me.
I'm here. Okay.
So from here,
Oh my god. Oh,
I have it mocked up on
okay.
a package or on a bottle. Sorry.
It's cloudy. It's cloudy.
Yeah, I intentionally made it cloudy.
Oh my god, I'm like sweating right now. This is
Me
so
too.
good.
And then I put the little copper pot thing up here.
Natter,
Yeah,
like this is unbelievable.
Thank you.
Do you hear? Does everyone hear his like thank you? He's just so like
awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I
Sure,
just did
no
that.
big
Sure,
deal.
yeah, I did this, no big deal.
Well,
Oh,
I mean, I definitely spent more time than I think you both wanted me to.
We like hammered it home to you. Like, do not spend a lot of time on this, Natter. Please, we know your instinct. Do not follow your worst behavior of like going overboard.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to make the executive decision. We have to call it because this deserves its own episode. This is the Can They Brand That Boozehound reveal or something like that.
I think we should too. I mean, like, I just think we should.
Because then we can like I want to make
episode
they're so great.
Yeah.
Not that the pressure has to be that you have to have as much every time, but I just think it's more fun to just focus on the one. That's my vote. Allie, Natter.
I'm co-signing because again, to Lindsay's point, you do not have to build it out like this every time. No. But like this to me deserves breathing space. I do not think we should jam
he only has to do one a month. You know what I mean? Like then you're like, you can take a break. There's like asking you to conceptualize 3.
We did not know what you were doing. We did not know what we were doing to you. Say something.
Well, also funded or dunded. This is somebody in the comments said like people would actually drink it. Like this is elegant. We could sell this. We get funded. There is no doubt in my mind.
Yeah. Oh, if we were questioning it before, I mean, this is proof point. I mean, there's just
look at the label with the guys on it. Can you zoom in on that label?
Yeah.
I know we've seen the illustration, but seeing it on the bottle.
The fact that it's hot dog water infused vodka. Oh my God.
Natter, where were hot dogs invented? Did it say?
If I remember correctly, I think it was like Germany or somewhere in Europe.
Oh, sure.
Seems like it would be.
And then it was like apparently like kind of quickly brought to the I think it was like the US, like somebody who was involved, I think like came to the US and introduced it or something.
Because I was just thinking of like
it into our ecosystem.
Yeah. They're like, this
let it into the water
here.
as a native species. I'm just thinking of it in like a gift shop at a touristy place, like of the place, like the birth of. Well, I guess we just have to pick. It's the birth of Boozehound, but like you would buy this as a souvenir vodka gift to give to somebody for sure.
I don't want to be biased, but this feels like it's got a lot of Chicago vibes. But then the ski chalet makes me think we're in the wrong. Like maybe it is Breckenridge or Colorado. I don't know, but Chicago. I mean, the hot dog just feels so Chicago. God, it's the cloudy water. I swear to God, if I was visiting a place and I knew they were kind of famous for this drink, just like Malort, right? I would absolutely buy this as a souvenir and as like a joke, buy a round of shots or whatever. Or have this. Yeah. Imagine having this at a party and like bringing it out like later in the night when everyone's a little like liquored up or everyone's feeling a little saucy. You know, that would be hilarious.
Or it really does strike me. Scott in the comments said, find the right summer cocktail, and that would be hotcakes. And I feel like we had said a Bloody Mary with this would be actually like a savory, like cold, like if you had like a boozy brunch, if you hosted a brunch and had this out there and like who's going to try their Bloody Mary with hot dog water vodka? For sure people would.
Laura just said, oh, you can sell ice to Eskimos? That's nice. Semiserious can brand hot dog water vodka. Thank you. Thank you. That might end up being copy on our website, Laura.
100%.
Thank you.
That is a great.
Didn't we also, our dirty martini was going to be a Weenie Tini? People would drink this too in like,
Yeah.
Wow.
Natter,
And
is there,
then
oh my
the
God.
last thing is just a bento box that kind of sums it all up in a way. So just to kind of go back to where the episode kind of started with like showing how we design stuff, kind of just bringing it back into that sort of format and looking at, you know, the type that was used, the little elements, color, pattern. And then I also was like, I knew that I already had a coaster mock-up, and I was like, this is the perfect use for that.
Have a cocktail, you weenie. Does anybody know anybody at Tito's Vodka? I think we just need like one phone call. We need like 2 minutes.
Lindsay, remember I used to chat back and forth with the guy who's the nephew of the woman who was like one of the C-suite at Tito's, but like not because of working with them in that capacity, but just, oh my God, I'm gonna reach out to
Get
him
your
and be
Rolodex
like,
out.
You're missing out, buddy. This is a whole new brand. This is a whole new branch of the.
Is Tito's in the hot dog business?
Oh my, Tito's does feel like they would come out with like a Boozehound. Feels like energetically.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Imagine they finally come out with flavored vodka, which is like not their thing at all. And the first flavor, it's not like raspberry, it's not vanilla. it's hot dog water. Exactly what you asked, we listened. Hot dog water vodka is here.
Just in time for 4th of July.
Honest to God, we should probably pitch Smirnoff because they're already pumping out raspberry and green apple. And, oh my God. Natter, this is it's honestly spectacular. Like, you are a once in a lifetime talent and we love you dearly.
Oh, thank you.
It's so good.
Laura said we better TM this ASAP. Yeah. Scoot Case, if you're watching, do not take this. If Scoot Case comes out with hot dog water vodka, I swear to God.
Pause on it.
Nice try. This is TM'd. Oh my gosh. Natter, all my dreams came true. I couldn't have imagined anything better. The double copper distilled, the houndstooth pattern, the hot dogs in a hot tub.
Well, this is what's so, I think it's like I think this is like a beautiful showing of like what is so fundamental about building a brand identity is like, it's like obviously like the way you position it, the way you conceptualize the idea, and then like how you name it, lines of copy, but then also like all these like visualized elements. It takes it to an 11. I mean, you're going, okay, like the pod, the hound, the dog tooth, like even the color palette, the flag, like, oh my God, this is such a fun job. It's so silly. Oh my goodness.
I feel like
I love it so much.
We need future lines of copy that's something like the drink that links us all together. Like, we need to make this like, let's bring.
Oh, you just added another hour onto Natter's.
Yeah, he's like,
oh no. I didn't think
oh, great. Friendship
Believe
bracelets.
Me, there were a handful of things that I didn't have the time for that I was like, oh, I want to make a pattern or like a brush that is essentially like the linked hot dogs, and then maybe use that as a frame for something, and I just didn't get to it, but Natter, it's on my list.
Natter will be sketching that tonight. He's now going, I screwed up. I should have done the link brush.
Well, when Tito's comes back to us, then, you know.
Yeah.
When Tito himself calls, I'll answer. It's the one phone call I'll answer. My mom and Tito. Oh my gosh.
Oh man, this is spectacular.
Holy smokes.
Okay, I guess to that point, is there anything else that you were like, I would have loved to do this for the brand, but I cut myself off at,
like, if this were a client and we had like all the money in the world, is there anything that came to you that you were like, I would extend it in this way?
Well, definitely that I wanted to do more in creating some of those like typographic lockups. So kind of going back, if I scroll back to here, like, and that's kind of where that like linked hot dog sort of brush or pattern or whatever that I could include would kind of be incorporated maybe as like maybe it's like an oval frame that kind of has some of the copy in it and some illustration or something to pair with it. Little things like that where like I wanted to spend more time, like I wanted to spend more time on like the cocktail illustrations and some of this other stuff. I also wanted to do a version of the flag where it looked like it was waving, but that takes too much time, and I didn't want to do that.
Oh my
But
God. I mean, it'd be really funny. Like you mentioned the portrait, like an oval portrait. Like these are your founders of Boozehound.
yeah,
It's like me, the three of
Mhm.
us, and like these elegant golden, like it's got like a gold sheen to it, or a red, I guess a red sheen to it, and it's like it looks like ornate frames, but it's just the hot dogs.
I also thought if we decided to like have it be a summer drink, or if we wanted it to be in Chicago somewhere that wasn't ski chalet-esque, we could make the dogs be like the founding father, like sculpted into the background of that mountain.
Oh,
Because they'd all look the
that'd
same.
be
They'd all
cool.
have the same head, like instead of looking different, it'd just be the same. Like those four
You know
wiener
what
founders.
I would kill to write lore for this brand because I'm
Yeah, all that lorem ipsum. Did you not just die? I was like, oh my gosh.
I was like getting giddy. I was like almost like, oh my God. Because I was thinking of when you mentioned like it got brought to the United States and whatever. I was laughing, thinking like introducing it into when I said introducing it into the ecosystem, I was then picturing someone like dumping a pot of boiling water into a river. And then having like almost like salmon, like little hot dogs.
like it magically just began, and they're like, and that's how Glizzy Falls began.
Happened. And then how we say Glizzy Falls, like there's something funny about like we almost like catch the hot dogs as they're coming down a waterfall, and then just think of how crazy the lore could get.
Yeah.
And you're like hand catching them in a basket. Like I love the idea of like taking it to like a really traditional, like handcrafted, handmade, like you said, boiled in small batches. Like I love like playing that up in the silliest way.
Yeah.
So funny.
It also, the bee makes me think then from here, if we want to talk empire, which I know we do, I want to make beans, like baked beans, and like savory vodkas or other things that are boiled. Beans can be boiled, peanuts can be boiled. So we're going to do a whole bunch of like savory boiled leftover water vodka.
I love it.
Not so obvious like olives and pickles. Get out of here. We're talking dogs. We're talking beans. We're talking savory that you can't even imagine.
I mean, they did it with cereal and milk.
Yeah.
Why can't they do it with hot dogs and water?
If not now,
they can now.
If not us, who?
Well,
let the dogs in.
I do weirdly. Okay, this idea has like weirdly grown on me as more plausible in the sense that it would be kind of good in a Bloody Mary.
It would be great in a Bloody Mary.
Yeah, like having that savory, it would actually probably be quite delicious.
Okay, or hold on, one more idea. Instead of like diversifying in the types of like the flavors of vodka, which I guess makes the most sense, we could also do like Boozehound could make hot dog water beer, hot dog water tequila. I mean, that's gross, but like beer, people would make, there'd be like a savory, like
Or
hand brewed.
What about like Chicago dog versus like New York dog versus whatever? You could,
Coney Island dog,
localize it. Cincinnati dog.
Hyper local, yeah. Boozehound Cincinnati, Boozehound Chicago, Boozehound New York.
Oh, and then it's got like little notes of like
so like this one has notes of relish.
Yeah.
Notes of chili.
Now we're talking. Now the empire's expanding. Okay, Emperor Palpatine.
Do you hear that? That's money dropping in our piggy bank. And the piggy bank is shaped like a dog.
Tina, was that you?
Oh, sorry. I've got to take this. Ring, ring.
Tina on the
line. Wow.
Okay. This is exceptional. I mean, honestly, I love that we're saving the other two.
Yeah. That's great.
Natter, this is the best. This is incredible. Wow. You really did it, buddy. You brought it to life in just the funniest way.
Thank you.
I hope you know how much we truly like appreciate that. I mean, you playing along with this exercise, but beyond this, your talent, and you're so funny. I mean, Natter's funny, so he gets the vision and gets the joke. And I think that is kind of that's a challenging thing, is like when you're looking for someone to like be a part of a team where humor is kind of our angle. It's like everyone has to have a good sense of humor, and it's like they someone needs to know how to make an American flag made out of wieners. I mean, and not everyone's gonna.
Someone's got to turn a seagull into a middle finger and have him shitting out sunscreen, and that guy, Natter.
That's Natter.
Yeah, that's what I signed up for.
Semiserious.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, and you know what? If we make this into a real brand, all these people they're getting first cut at investment opportunities, being part of they're part of the board of directors, the people that are here in this chat. You were here when it started. You believed in us. You believed in us.
And all we want is $10,000 from each of you. Send a check. It's gonna be fine. We're little angel investors. Laura said if this becomes a real product, we're all getting 1867 tats. I actually do promise that. I'm going to say this on air. If we get this created, I will get an 1867 tattoo. And I don't have any tattoos. Yeah.
I got 2 shitty ones, so what do I care?
What do you care? What's a third shitty one?
Shitty one gonna do? I got a tramp stamp that I thankfully haven't been able to see in 25 years.
You have a tramp stamp, and this will be your Lady in the Tramp stamp because it's a hot dog.
That's beautiful.
Wow. I'm gonna have to think about that for a while. Okay, guys.
Wow. Well, I think this closes out the episode.
It does.
I think we are clearly funded.
Wow.
The money's rolling in as we speak, and we will we'll do another one of these episodes soon. Like maybe we go regular episode and then we can go to a design episode.
Yeah, I love it. This is a blast.
Yeah, this is great.
Thank you, Natter, for all of your hard work and your ideas. Thanks for everybody for chiming in. Like and subscribe so you don't miss another great design episode or an ideation episode, and follow along on social at Semiserious Agency, and check out our real work that is unfortunately not hot dog water vodka at semiseriousagency.com. Thank you for watching. Thanks, Natter.
Thanks everyone in the comments. Thanks, Bud. And we'll see you next week.
See you next time.
All right. Bye.